Hey, wanted to do a quick review on Systainers here, and kind of how I'm using them. Uh, I did a video a while ago on my little K-Packs and some of the tools I'm using from Festool. And my first tools that I got were DeWalt's. Actually, my first tools I got were my grandfather's. I got a bunch of old Craftsman drills and stuff that were interesting to use. And then started getting into working on the house, so I started picking up these DeWalt's. I picked up a lot of the 18-volt system, and one of my favorite ones that I still have, probably my all-time favorite tool, is that little guy. Um, but the interesting thing about the 18-volt system is it's not perfect for all applications. So this is an example. I had an 18-volt saw, um, demo saw like this, and it just chews through batteries so quick. 20 volts is the same as 18 volts basically. So it wasn't the batteries. It's just the fact that this kind of application is not a good application for a battery device. So went and picked up the corded version and I used the heck out of it. And that's why it looks like crap. So I think it's kind of interesting. I see a lot of reviews on YouTube where somebody just basically just bought the tool and does a review on it. You got to take out like you know 900 feet of ceiling before you really know whether the tool's any good. This thing is good. It's cheap. It's easy. But the thing I hate about my shop is most of the boxes that I have with the tools, they either broke or they're kind of a pain to work with. Um, so I bought the like a rack, kind of like that rack over there, and I just put all the tools in there. And I used to hang them on pegboards, and there's this company called um, Wall Control, and made in USA, really high quality pegboards. But the problem is you're going to knock it off someday. And it's a pain in the butt to hang on the wall. Plus, some of these tools are kind of heavy. So hanging it up, 4 feet on a wall is just asking for, a little kid to come by and start shaking it. So I started putting them in these bins so I could keep all the parts together. And the bins look awful. Uh, it's not my favorite system. So then when I started getting the Festool stuff, I love how clean and easy this stuff all, even if it's not clean in the box, it looks really nice. It's easy to roll around, everything stacks together, and I've kind of bought into this whole system. Not just Festool. I was watching a video today where some guy just criticized the heck out of Festool for being snooty. They're better tools sometimes, and I'm going to show you what I did with one of these tools. But there are tools like, for example, this DeWalt PEX tool. Festool's not going to make this, and even if they did, it'd be ridiculously expensive. So this is an example of a tool where I bought the Systainer here. I made these cool little labels on the computerator, and then I got this Crazen foam, and I cut it out, and it looks great. I mean, the whole thing fits together, fits like a glove. This is not a cheap tool. I don't use it that much. I try to avoid plumbing, but when you need it, you need it. So it works great. Battery charger. Got my half-inch, and three-quarter, and 1 inch, and then you actually need some grease every once in a while to lube it up. The lube. So basically, it's a good way to keep the tool protected and kind of protect your investment. I even went so far as to put a little die cut sticker on it just to compete with Festool's little 20-year thing. Dremel, same thing. Dremels are the worst because the box they come in, the first thing it does is explode the tool all over the place. There are about 10,000 bits in here. And some of the bits, like for example, this is a diamond bit. This is like a $20 bit. So you don't really want to lose that little guy. But I'm not organized enough to put them all back in little holes. So irony of ironies, the Dremel's downstairs. But this is all the pieces that you need for the Dremel. And occasionally bits run away and you throw them back in there. But it works really well. There's pretty much a Systainer for anything. I'll show you a couple others. That's from Festool. This one, I'll show you this one here. So I haven't used this tool yet, so I'm not going to tell you how it works because I don't have a damn clue. But I've seen these two guys building a boat with it, so it's probably pretty decent. So this is a planer. Again, same thing. I knew I needed a planer occasionally. So I bought this guy and I cut it out and put it in its little box. So and then this tool, show you this guy. I use this guy a lot. So this is the Fuji Mini Mite. So this is my entire painting kit in a box. So this is the HVLP compressor. You can tell how much I've used this. I literally can't see. This is called the 3M PPG system, or PPS, pressure pot sprayer, I think that's how it's called. And the gun, it's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous gun. When you use this system, you could paint upside down. That's the real reason I do it, because it works amazing. So, the tool looks pretty awful from the outside, but trust me, it's clean. And for example, here's the cleaning kit, and everything fits really nice into this set. Even the spray bits I never ever use. Even the hoses in there, kind of see it. So that's an example of, something I've made that I love that compared to shoving everything into a box. Here's another example. So on the left, this is a grinder. Again, I bought an 18-volt grinder, battery powered. Mistake. The 18-volt grinders, they just chew up the batteries. When you need to grind something, you're usually on it for a while. So this is a situation where corded is much better. This is a fine grinder. No, it's a grinder made by Fine, and this lets me keep all my pieces in one box. And I even made like a little fancy sticker. I bought this insert that they make. This is not actually a kit from Fine. This actually is a kit from Fine, but when you put it together, you can make it just as nice as the manufacturer. I even made some nice little stickers. I think my sticker looks better, but I did happen to buy the Systainer that happens to be the same as the official Fine one. So, dirty, clean. So, same thing for a lot of tools. What I did want to show you here is kind of a really quick Festool review. So this little guy, this RO150, I'm redoing my house, and I had to redo a whole section of flooring. And you can rent tools, obviously, to sand the floor. I did not want to go down that route because usually I have like 30 minutes free to work on something, maybe an hour at the most. Then I got family stuff or work stuff or, everything else in life. So I actually decided to do the floor with this RO150. So I'll kind of show you. I put in a new floor over in this corner. I did try redoing some of our old flooring and just to test it, and it went well. And in a previous video, I kind of showed how I blended two pieces of flooring that were different heights. But I just decided it was better to put in new flooring. So I use this 100, the granite, which is their general use sandpaper, which again is really nice sandpaper. And then after I use that granite, they make a screening product now. It's called a granite, but it's actually a net. So it works the same as a screen. I use that between my coats, and then I used polypoloplas, is the oil-based polyurethane. But I'll show you here. Move this guy out of the way. Okay, these little rollers are so helpful. You just move stuff around. It kind of makes you lazy. But I did, believe it or not, first I got to show off the lighting. Check out the fancy cabinet lights. But I actually did, believe it or not, this whole floor with that tool. It didn't do it in a day. It took me a couple weeks of just hour here, hour there. I did all these built-ins. I built all that stuff and put the whole thing together and sanded it, and it turned out really nice. If you have some time and just that little sad tool, I'm sure a flooring guy's watching this giggling, but I'm not a pro. This is what I own. What I will say is this thing is a freaking tank. Um, I mean, you can see all the polyurethane dust in there. It really does pick up the dust amazingly well. I still wear a respirator when I was doing the actual sanding, and we used a curtain system just to keep it out of the house. But I'd go over to the shelves and there wouldn't be a speck of dust. It would just totally be clean. So, you know, floor turned out really nice. These cabinets have been painted with the HVLP gun. And again, I mean, just the finish is gorgeous on these cabinets. Um, this is a mat to keep my dog off it until he learns not to get up on the brand new painted stuff. The doors aren't painted yet. They're not going to be that color. It's just, like I said, it's time. So I, you know, I started out with grandpa's tools and now I'm at this thing and there's no comparison. The DeWalt doesn't touch this, but this is ridiculously expensive, but you get what you pay for, I think, on that. And not everything Festool is good. There's some Festool that, like the planer, I wouldn't buy their planer because you're just overpaying. But yeah, so anyhow, floor turned out really well. We'll do another video eventually here where, oh yeah, and the dust back, definitely need that. We're going to cut out this whole floor in here and then raise it. Right now, we've got a little bit of a slope. It's kind of hard to put on video here, but the this side of the house on this side is almost 200 years old. You can see all the hand-hewn beams on here. So this is all done with an axe. It's all pegged. So we're gonna that side of the house is sagged. So I'm gonna take the sag out of it, and then I'm just gonna put down a new floor. I'll probably keep that old oak and then try to use it in my shop as a floor. Because after all, it's what do they call it? Recycled. That means old and beat up. But I'm gonna try to use it in there, and maybe we'll be able to put a nice wood floor in the actual shop. But yeah, little video on Systainers and where I'm at, and um, little shout out to this little guy. If this broke, I'd buy a new one tomorrow in a heartbeat. I would recommend it. So, all right. Hopefully, somebody working on their house might help them out. Have a good day.